Have you been trying to stay active, but instead of feeling stronger, you're noticing shortness of breath, heart flutters, or unusual fatigue? Most seniors are told to exercise more, but not all exercises are heart-safe after 60. Some movements silently strain your cardiovascular system without you realizing it, until it's too late. The truth is, after 60, your heart doesn't bounce back like it used to, and the wrong exercise routine can quietly trigger blood pressure spikes, arrhythmia, and even heart damage. This video could literally protect your heart. You're watching Senior Strength, a trusted channel for wise, health-conscious adults over 50 who want real, science-backed tips to feel younger, safer, and stronger. If that's you, hit subscribe. We're protecting your body, together. Exercise number 1. High-intensity jumping jacks or burpees. Imagine Walter, 68, who decided to follow a YouTube hit workout made for beginners. He pushed through 3 rounds of jumping jacks and burpees. But that night, his chest felt tight. The next morning, he woke up dizzy, with a racing heart. Exercises like burpees and jumping jacks can cause sudden blood pressure surges and irregular heart rhythms, especially in seniors with stiffened arteries or undiagnosed hypertension. These high-impact moves force your heart into spikes, not stable growth, and recovery gets slower with age. When Walter switched to low-impact cardio like walking, elliptical, or chair-based workouts, his stamina improved, and so did his heart rhythm. Remember, no workout is worth damaging the very organ that keeps you alive. If you've ever felt dizzy after a workout or wondered if your heart was overworking, share your story in the comments. Let's learn from each other, and hit subscribe. Because next week, we'll uncover the top 5 signs your blood pressure is hurting your memory. Exercise number 2. Morning push ups, especially on the floor, every morning. David, 66, rolled out of bed and hit the floor to do his push-ups, something he'd done since his Army days. He believed it kept him strong and disciplined. But recently, he started feeling a tight squeeze in his chest mid-set, and a sharp drop in blood pressure when he stood up too quickly afterward. His wife insisted he get checked, and what doctors found shocked him. Floor push-ups may look simple, but they place a sudden load on the chest, shoulders, and cardiovascular system, especially in the morning when blood pressure is naturally higher and the heart is less adaptable. The pressure you generate when straining to push off the floor causes a temporary drop in blood returning to the heart, which can trigger dizziness, blood pressure swings, or even arrhythmia in older adults. Add stiff joints or prior injuries, and this classic exercise becomes a hidden risk. David replaced his floor push-ups with wall push-ups and resistance band chest presses. Within weeks, he noticed fewer heart flutters and more strength, without the scary pressure. Lesson: it's not about proving you still got it. It's about protecting what matters now, your heart's safety. Exercise number 3. Forward folding yoga poses, like downward dog and standing toe touches. Susan, 72, joined a senior yoga class to help her flexibility. The instructor led them into a gentle forward fold, bending at the hips, reaching toward the toes. Halfway through, Susan felt a sudden rush to her head, followed by dizziness and a pounding heart. She had to sit down quickly before fainting. It felt like a harmless stretch, but it wasn't. Forward folding positions can cause a rapid drop in blood pressure, known as orthostatic hypotension. In seniors, where the body's internal barometer is slower to adjust, this movement can disrupt blood flow to the brain, triggering dizziness, blurred vision, and even falls. But there's more. The pressure on the chest and abdominal cavity during these folds can subtly strain the vagus nerve, affecting heart rate variability and rhythm, something that must be handled with extreme care. After 60, that Susan's instructor modified her routine, replacing deep folds with seated or supported stretches, keeping her head above her heart. Within weeks, Susan felt calmer, more balanced, and her heart flutters vanished. Flexibility is good, but not if it pulls your heart into dangerous rhythms. Exercise number 4. Heavy leg press machine, or squatting with weights. Michael, 70, had always prided himself on strong legs. At the gym, he'd sit on the leg press machine and stack up heavy weights, pushing through 3 sets like a champ. But one afternoon, right after a hard push, he saw stars, felt his heart racing out of rhythm, and had to be rushed to urgent care. The diagnosis? A hypertensive crisis triggered by exercise. The leg press machine, especially under heavy load, forces the body to hold its breath during the lift, a reaction called the Valsalva maneuver, which temporarily skyrockets blood pressure. For seniors with arterial stiffness, this can cause dangerous spikes in both systolic and diastolic pressure, putting extreme strain on the heart's electrical system. Worse, the legs are the largest muscle group in the body, working them under. Excessive load draws blood away from the core, potentially causing heart palpitations, arrhythmia, or even fainting. When Michael switched to bodyweight squats, resistance bands, and incline walking, his heart rate stabilized and his legs stayed strong without risk. Remember, strength isn't about lifting more, it's about living longer and moving pain-free. And your heart deserves that balance. Exercise number 5, sprinting or fast running. Even on a treadmill, Linda, 64, decided to run off her weight by jogging fast on a treadmill. But just 6 minutes in, her heart rate skyrocketed, and she felt like her chest couldn't keep up with her legs. Fast-paced running, especially sprinting, demands immediate oxygen and blood supply from the heart. In seniors, the heart's ventricular compliance, its ability to expand and contract efficiently, naturally declines, which means the faster you run, the more your heart is forced to overwork in a shorter window. Sprinting causes catecholamine, surges, stress hormones like adrenaline, that can destabilize heart rhythm, trigger arrhythmias, and even lead to exercise-induced atrial fibrillation in seniors with hidden cardiovascular issues. Additionally, the abrupt shift from rest to rapid motion creates shear stress on arterial walls, which can cause microvascular damage, elevate cortisol, and lead to hypertension or plaque disruption. Treadmill running also offers no variance in terrain, meaning the repetitive impact places more strain on knees and lower back without the natural feedback your body gets from outdoor walking. The bottom line? Your heart after 60 needs smart, sustained movement, not stress-testing bursts that shock the system. Exercise number 6, planks, especially long static holds. Frank, 67, added a daily 90-second plank to his morning routine to build core strength. By day 5, he started noticing shortness of breath mid-hold, and afterward, a tight sensation across his chest that took hours to go away. Planks may look simple, but they engage deep core, chest, shoulder, and postural muscles simultaneously, requiring isometric tension, a type of sustained contraction that can dramatically increase intrathoracic pressure. For seniors, this creates a subtle but dangerous cascade. Blood return to the heart is restricted, cardiac output becomes less efficient, and systolic blood pressure spikes. Meanwhile, if the breath is held, which many seniors do unconsciously, during strain, it activates the Valsalva response, which further reduces oxygen delivery to the brain and can cause lightheadedness, heart rhythm changes, or even fainting. Static holds also activate the sympathetic nervous system, releasing adrenaline and cortisol, which increase vascular resistance. Bad news for seniors with even mildly stiff arteries. Over time, this stress on the heart can lead to exercise intolerance, increased fatigue, and even compensatory hypertension, a quiet but serious condition where the body elevates blood pressure to make up for weakened cardiac efficiency. Exercise number 7, overhead shoulder press with dumbbells or resistance bands. Betty, 69, was using 8-pound dumbbells for her shoulder presses during her at-home strength routine. Mid-set, she felt her face flush red, her chest tighten, and her heart rate jump erratically, forcing her to stop and sit down, breathless. Overhead pressing movements, especially with resistance, force the arms to elevate above the heart, placing significant hemodynamic load on the cardiovascular system. As the arms rise, venous return to the heart drops, meaning less blood flows back into the heart chambers while simultaneously demanding more output. This can reduce cardiac preload and trigger a reflexive increase in heart rate and blood pressure to compensate. Moreover, the overhead motion compresses the thoracic outlet region, which can restrict neurovascular flow, impacting not only shoulder mobility but also causing transient dizziness, vision spots, or arrhythmias. Seniors with arterial stiffness, mild valve disease, or unrecognized left ventricular hypertrophy are especially vulnerable, as the added pressure from the strain can exacerbate silent heart conditions. Add to that the common tendency to hold breath during upward pressing, and you've got a perfect storm of internal pressure spikes, restricted blood return, and elevated stroke risk in sensitive individuals. Exercise number 8. Step UPS, especially on high platforms or benches. Eleanor, 72, used her front porch steps for daily step-ups, thinking it was a great cardio workout. But after just 2 minutes, her heart felt like it was pounding out of her chest, and her knees ached with every push. Later that night, she experienced shortness of breath while lying down. Step-ups appear gentle, but they're deceptively intense. For the cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems, especially when done on elevated surfaces, every repetition requires a full body weight shift against gravity, engaging major muscle groups like the quads, glutes, and calves, while increasing preload demand on the heart. This forces the heart to pump harder and faster with less recovery between contractions. For seniors, whose baroreceptor sensitivity declines with age, the body struggles to regulate these sudden increases in blood pressure and heart rate, often leading to hypertensive episodes or palpitations during or after the exercise. Additionally, the unilateral nature of step-ups can destabilize posture, increasing the likelihood of asymmetrical blood pooling in the lower limbs. This disrupts proper blood return to the heart, especially dangerous if the person has venous insufficiency or stiff arteries. When performed rapidly or with added weight, step-ups can also trigger an exaggerated sympathetic response, fight or flight, flooding the body with adrenaline that heightens cardiac stress, causes shortness of breath, and creates rhythm disturbances that can linger long after the exercise is over. Exercise number 9, bicycle crunches or any fast-paced core twisting exercise. James, 65, added bicycle crunches to his daily routine after reading they were great for abs and heart health. But after just 20 reps, he felt disoriented, his heart skipped a beat, and his breathing became shallow. He had to lie down for nearly an hour to recover. Bicycle crunches combine spinal flexion, core compression, and rotational torque, all while engaging the neck, chest, and diaphragm, making it one of the most complex movements seniors attempt. During the twisting motion, especially when performed quickly, the diaphragm and thoracic cavity compress, affecting respiratory efficiency and venous return to the heart. This limits the heart's preload, how much blood it receives, while increasing afterload, how much force it must use to pump, a dangerous combination for aging hearts at the same time. The lateral twisting motion can overstimulate the vagus nerve, which runs from the brain through the heart and digestive tract, potentially disrupting heart rate and blood pressure regulation. For seniors, this can result in bradycardia, slow heart rate, sudden dizziness, or even fainting, particularly if there's underlying autonomic dysfunction. Adding speed to the movement introduces another risk. Rapid core engagement triggers a sympathetic surge that taxes the cardiovascular system, potentially leading to atrial fibrillation episodes in those with even minor heart rhythm vulnerabilities. Despite being seen as a core classic, this exercise is simply too physiologically demanding for most bodies over 60. Closing recap. Let's review the 9 exercises to avoid after 60. Let's quickly remind ourselves of the movements that may seem harmless, but can silently stress your heart if you're not careful. Jumping jacks, morning floor push UPS, forward folding yoga poses, heavy leg press machine, sprinting or fast running, long static planks, overhead shoulder press, high step UPS, bicycle crunches. Gentle advice for stronger, safer days ahead. Listen, aging doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter with your strength, that you're not weak for modifying an exercise. You're wise for protecting the body that's carried you through decades of life. You don't need to compete with who you were 20 years ago. You need to cooperate with the beautiful, experienced, intelligent body you have now. Every heartbeat matters more. Every breath, every step. It deserves care, not punishment. Instead of chasing intensity, build consistency. Instead of forcing workouts, choose movements that make your body say thank you. Instead of fear, choose faith in your ability to get stronger in smarter ways. If this helped you, if even one of these tips made you pause and rethink your routine, drop a comment below. What hit you hardest? What will you change? I read every message, and I want to hear from you. And if you want to keep protecting your body the smart, science-backed way, subscribe to Senior Strength. Because your future health depends on today's wisdom. Your strength is still in you. Let's protect it together.